Hi, my name is Sidney Foster, and I'm in Miss Bronte Miller's online speech class, and today I'm going to do my informative speech on the Zodiac Killer. And my audience is my sister, Micaiah, and my two other friends that play on the softball team with me, Emily and Kaylee. Okay, so the most famous unsolved mystery of all time, the Zodiac Killer. After his first kill, he grew popular all over the United States, but the killer was never found. The purpose of my speech is to inform my audience about the Zodiac Killer. I will basically describe how he killed, who his major victims were, and how he got away with these murders for so long. Since I was a little girl, I loved scary movies. And when I say scary movies, I mean the realistic scary stuff. I enjoyed all types of documentaries, stories about serial killers, mass murderers, hauntings, and many, many more. In this speech, I will inform my audience how crazy this man really was. To begin with, the Zodiac Killer killed the majority of his victims by gunshot wounds or stabbings. He was known to tie them up and stab them, or to just shoot them point blank in their car. He also made statements like he's going to kill little children as they get off the school bus in the evenings. This scared everyone tremendously, and the city took major precautions for this, but the Zodiac Killer ended up never killing a child. Now, when the Zodiac Killer first started killing, he began in Vallejo, California on December 20th, 1968, with David Faraday and Betty Lou Jensen. He shoots them while they are sitting in their parked car. Funny thing is, the Zodiac Killer calls the murders in himself and takes blame for them, but never reveals his identity. His second killing is 6 months later in the same area. These two individuals are Darlene Ferrin and Mike Mageau. They were sitting in their parked car when they were shot as well. Darlene dies at the scene, but Mike survives, and this is how we got a description of the killer. Mike says while in the hospital bed recovering that the killer looked to be a white man, heavy set, looked about 5'8", brown hair, and 26 to 30 years old. His next victims are Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard. These two were having a picnic at Lake Berryessa when the Zodiac Killer comes around at the backside of a tree and ties them up, then stabs them both multiple times. Brian survives and goes on to give the same description Mike gives. The last murder I'm going to tell you about is Paul Stine. Paul was a cab driver in San Francisco, California, when the Zodiac Killer enters his car and asks for a ride. Moments later, Paul is shot in the head. The Zodiac Killer leaves the scene. Witnesses described him as the same way both of his survivors did. When the police are on the way to the scene, they run into a man who was just walking through the area at the time. They ask him if he had seen anything suspicious, and obviously he says no. Lastly, it is obvious the Zodiac Killer got away with these killings for a long time. He had so many strategies and ways of keeping himself a secret. After his first two kills, he sent a letter to the San Francisco Chronicle, the San Francisco Examiner, and the Vallejo Times-Herald. All three letters were basically the same, and they told him it was that he killed these people, and he was taking responsibility for them. And these letters contained a code that apparently identified who he was. Several days later, Donald and Betty Hardin decoded the code. These two find out the code did not give away his identity. Instead, it gives them a reason why he kills and why he loves it so much. The code went a little like this. I love killing. It is so much fun. It is better than sex. The best part is when I die, I will be reborn in paradise, and all those that I've killed will be my slaves. I will not let anyone know my identity because they will try to stop me from collecting my slaves for the afterlife. It was never proven, but the Zodiac Killer was known for sending numerous letters to the newspaper and the police, but he always had someone else lick his stamps for him, so his identity wouldn't be given away so easily. In one of his letters, shortly after Paul Stine's murder, he mentions how the police were so dumb because they literally walked right up to him and questioned him but didn't know it was him, and they let him walk. This is also the same letter where he mentions he was going to start killing kids but never did. And to wrap things up, the killings went on for years, but they were never solved. The Zodiac Killer was never found, but there were suspects. As you can tell, I absolutely love this story and how mysterious it is, the way he kills, why he kills, and how he got away with this for a lifetime. I want to thank the biography.com for their amazing videos and articles about this story, and I got a little bit of my information from there. If you're interested in learning more in-depth information about this story, I would definitely check out this website. Thank you for your time, and I hope it was very informing. This was a very informing speech for everyone that is listening. Thank you.